The Argus, January 5th, 2010. Sussex policewoman to win compensation after sex discrimination. The policewoman, who had been trained to use a self-loading pistol and an MP5 submachine gun, claimed she suffered taunts and verbal abuse by male colleagues while serving at Gatwick, where she was the only woman in a team of 18 men. She claimed fellow officers made comments about her breasts and called her names. She was also upset by topless pictures of women in magazines left around the station. During the hearing, there were also allegations that armed officers at Gatwick routinely faked anti-terrorism patrol reports, took sick days when they were well, and left guns unattended. The tribunal was told that leaving weapons lying around was a donut offence, punishable by having to buy cakes or donuts for the rest of the team. The Argus, June the 14th, 2010. A policewoman has been awarded £275,000 in damages after sexist colleagues forced her out of work. Barbara Linford could also receive £300,000 from Sussex Police later this year under a ruling from an employment tribunal which has lasted 3 years. She was repeatedly taunted by her male colleagues at the firearms unit in Gatwick, who were said to have called her a daisy, a whoopsie and a lipstick. Sussex Police Authority, which is struggling to make £35 million cuts over the next 5 years, has been forced to set aside £600,000 for the payout. The Argus, January the 14th, 2010. Sussex PC charged over death crash. A police officer has been charged with killing a young man he hit with his sports car. PC Stuart Chalmers, a Rhodes policing officer based at Hove Police Station, was yesterday charged with causing death by careless driving. Off-duty traffic officer PC Chalmers, 30, was driving a Lotus sports car when he knocked down 20-year-old Luke Bland on the A26 at Little Horsted, near Uckfield, last February. Pedestrian Mr. Bland of Lime Close, Uckfield, had stopped to help at the scene of an earlier accident when the Lotus smashed into him. The Argus, December the 14th, 2010. Sussex police officer accused of bald tyres in death smash. PC Stuart Chalmers' Lotus Exige skidded on ice and hit 20-year-old Luke Bland on the A26 near Uckfield last year. Chalmers, 31, who works for the Sussex Police Road Policing Unit at Hove, has already been acquitted of causing death by careless driving. He is due to stand trial at Fareham Magistrates Court in Hampshire, accused of having 2 tyres with insufficient tread. A spokesman said the charge was not included in the first trial, which ended in July, because the tyre treads were not believed to have caused the crash. Witnesses described the noise of the Lotus Exige as like an aeroplane coming into land as it careered towards Mr. Bland. The Argus, 15th of January 2010. Sussex schoolboys ticketed by police for sledging. Jacob Moger, 12, like most kids his age, was enjoying the time off from school by sledging down hills. But just as he was about to set off on his next run, 2 police community support officers quizzed him and issued a stop and search form. Jacob's friend Charlie Stakem, 11, of 8th Avenue, Lancing, was also issued a stop and search form for sledging downhill towards a fence. The Argus, January the 22nd, 2010. Surge in robberies and burglaries in Sussex. Robbers and burglars enjoyed a crime spree in Sussex last year, new statistics have revealed. The county bucked national trends according to figures revealed by the Home Office, reporting a 13% rise in robberies committed between September 2008 and September 2009, compared with an average 3% drop across police forces in England and Wales. Burglaries and sex offences also each rose by 2%. The Argus, May the 19th, 2010. Paedophile Sussex policeman jailed. A paedophile policeman has been jailed for more than 3 years. Stephen Kelly, 47, was convicted of indecently assaulting a 7-year-old girl during his 15-year career with Sussex Police. He had denied the charges, which came to light after he left the force in 2007, but was convicted at Maidstone Crown Court and sentenced to 40 months in prison. Kelly joined Sussex Police as a special constable in 1990 and became a full police constable in 1992. He served as a response officer in Hastings. The Argus, June the 9th, 2010. Police accused of blundering incompetence over Crawley attack. A police chief was called to court to explain to a judge how vital evidence in a trial had been mislaid for 2 years. Acting Chief Superintendent Martin Walker was ordered to appear at Hove Crown Court after a petrol bombing trial collapsed. Amir Ali, 28, had denied taking part in the attack on the Imperial pub in Broadfield, Crawley in May 2008. During his trial, the jury was told that crucial CCTV footage seized by Sussex Police after the attack could not be found. The revelation led to recorder John Hardy describing the loss as blundering incompetence. The Argus, June the 11th, 2010. Sussex Police searched hundreds of people illegally. Sussex Police searched hundreds of people illegally in a series of bungled terrorism operations. Senior officers failed to get the proper go-ahead from the Home Office to stop and search people without the need for suspicion they were committing crimes. They were forced to write to the people they searched apologising for the mistakes. The Home Office has released details of 40 cases nationwide where Section 44 of the Terrorism Act had been abused. Sussex Police were responsible for 5 breaches in 2001, 2003 and 2007, the second highest number among all the forces in the country. The Argus, July the 23rd, 2010. Sussex Police warrant cards go missing. Police are losing dozens of their warrant cards every year. Officers in Sussex are regularly warned that in the wrong hands the cards, which identify them as police and spell out their powers, could be a licence to commit crime, but that has not convinced them to keep their cards safe. The revelation follows a series of distraction burglary cases where criminals pretended to be police officers to trick their way into elderly people's homes. Sussex Police only began recording the number of warrant cards which were being lost in September. Since then, an average of slightly less than 4 a month have gone missing. The Argus, July the 26th, 2010. Special Branch policeman admits money laundering. Darren Graysmark, 44, of Coney Furlong, Peacehaven, appeared at Maidstone Crown Court today, more than a year after his arrest by the Sussex Police Serious and Organised Crime Unit. He pleaded guilty to laundering £80,921 by spending money which his partner, Darren Simpson, 42, had made through drugs. Sussex Police confirmed he has resigned from the force after being suspended since April last year. Graysmark was released on bail by a judge at Maidstone Crown Court until a future hearing when he will be sentenced. He has 23 years' service with Sussex Police, including as a detective constable in the Major Crime Branch and as a special branch constable working at New Haven Port. Sussex Police found 3 kilo-sized blocks of cocaine worth £148,000 on the street, when they stopped Simpson driving alone in Graysmark's car on the A23 near Hancross on Wednesday, April the 8th last year. The Argus, August the 25th, 2010. Former Sussex Police PC jailed for money laundering. A former Sussex police constable was jailed for 16 months today after admitting laundering more than £80,000. He was arrested after officers from his own force found cocaine worth an estimated street value of £148,000 in his car on April the 8th last year. Graysmark was not in the car when police pulled over the vehicle being driven by his boyfriend, Darren Simpson, on the northbound A23 at Hancross, near Crawley. Eastbourne Herald, October the 1st, 2010. Inquest to be held 11 years after death. An inquest is to be held into the death of Eastbourne accountant J. Abertan, who was attacked outside a Brighton nightclub 11 years ago. Sussex Police has been criticised for its investigation into the death, which cost more than £2 million, and a report by Essex Police highlighted 57 shortcomings. Avon and Somerset Constabulary has also reviewed the police inquiry. One detective inspector was given 2 cautions, and a second was reprimanded after a misconduct tribunal. The Argus, October the 18th, 2010. Police officers accused of selling uniforms on eBay. It has emerged today that kit from Sussex Police is being sold illegally on eBay. The BBC reported that an unnamed chief superintendent informed them that he had investigated several officers after uniforms and equipment were sold on the internet. He said that staff would report the kit stolen and then it would appear for sale on sites like eBay. He said, "I investigated several officers who sold their kit." A series of burglaries in Sussex earlier this year involved criminals dressed as police officers. The Argus, November the 8th, 2010. Sussex police officers in court for speeding. 2 Sussex police officers have been summoned for speeding in their patrol cars. PC David Muddle, based at East Brighton Police Station, and PC Robert Watts, based at Hove, were pulled over by an unmarked police motorcyclist on September the 5th. They were in separate marked police cars at the time, driving on the A27 between the Devil's Dyke and Falmer. Sussex Police said they were not responding to an emergency. The Argus, November the 18th, 2010. Former Sussex police officer jailed for tipping off drugs suspect. A former police officer was jailed for 14 months today for tipping off a drugs suspect about a potential raid. Grania Hale was suspended from Sussex Police after being charged with misconduct in public office in August. The court heard that in her role as a serving police officer, she had alerted a member of the public to the fact that a search warrant was likely to be executed. Hale, who worked as a police constable with the neighbourhood response team at Haywards Heath, sent text messages to friend Chelsea Chalmers to warn her officers were planning to raid the home she shared with her partner, who was suspected of selling drugs.